What's up with Wutville? This weird map is like a dissonant note in the well-executed harmony that was this year's SMISSMAS. We got nice cosmetics and war paints, amazing towns, 3 very cool maps, especially Payload Pier, and among all that, there's Wutville. Despite being ambitious, original, and very creative, Wutville has problems, and its official edition by Valve has worrying consequences for those creating TF2 maps. First of all, I want to make it clear that my goal here is not to criticize with malicious intent the creator of Wutville. It is a great achievement to have a map added to TF2 officially, and I congratulate him for this. I don't mean to belittle his work, and I disdain anyone who tries to personally harass and offend him. This sort of toxic behavior is unacceptable. That said, for whatever reasons, Wutville has serious issues. The map is badly optimized. The aesthetic, despite being different from what we are used to in TF2, could, in my opinion, work with some adjustments. But overall, the map clearly lacks polish. If you think about it, that makes sense, considering it wasn't being actively developed before being added to the game, and also considering Valve only gave the creator 4 days before adding it to the game, and that's clearly not enough time to iron out all the bugs and problems a map might have. However, the first and most notable issue is the scale of the map. Wutville is huge and has very open areas, especially near the first blue spawn. That's bad because it makes for boring action. It simply isn't fun to shoot at faraway enemies. You can see here that, to mitigate that, I'm playing with the direct hit, and even then I can't say I was having fun on this match. At times, I couldn't even see properly who I was shooting at. Another issue is the fact that this makes snipers way too powerful. It isn't hard for a competent sniper, which I'm not by the way, to simply dominate the map and deny any resemblance of fun to the other team. I think the map creator tried to balance this with tunnels that you can follow to get behind the defending team. And there's nothing wrong with that idea in itself. But this brings us to our second problem. The layout is confusing and hard to learn. Besides the long sight lines, the map has plenty of narrow and winding paths. These routes are also closed and they don't have a clear reference to where they lead, like other maps have, which also adds to the confusion. For instance, as I write this, I've only played Payload Pier twice, and I've already memorized the layout. In comparison, I played Wutville about 4 or 5 times to capture footage for this video, and I still managed to get lost on the map quite often. These 2 problems are worrying because they are not easily solvable without altering the basic design of the map. That takes a lot of effort and time, and as someone who has a bit of experience mapping, I can say it is a pain to do. Also, I must say I was surprised by some weird design decisions in the map. Why place the first blue spawn so far away from the cart? If you take a look at any other payload map, the cart is always close to blue spawn. I can't think of any good reason not to do it this way. Wutville has another starting spawn for blue team, but I never saw anyone spawning there at the start of the round, only after dying once or twice. And still, it is a tiny spawn with a narrow exit that can be very easily camped. Why build 2 spawns, one far away from the objective, and the other with such a narrow exit, instead of making only 1 spawn with 2 or 3 exits, like most maps do? There's even available space to do so in the map's layout, and that would improve a lot our first impression of the map. I know that Wutville's creator is a competent mapper. He is also the creator of Fish Ladder and The Hat Factory, 2 very cool maps also available on the workshop. That's why I find the choices he made on Wutville quite puzzling. Anyway, that's just a quick summary on these issues. Another YouTuber, Jacapoa, sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name, made a much better and very detailed video about this. Check it out later if you are interested on hearing more. I myself wanted to call attention to the impact that the addition of a map like this can make on other TF2 mappers. In the present day, making TF2 maps, although quite fun, is a frustrating activity because the game is so rarely updated that your chances of getting a map accepted are almost none. I personally know some mappers that gave up because of that and either completely stopped mapping or decided to dedicate their time to games that are updated more often, like CSGO. Now, imagine you are someone who worked really hard on a very cool, well-polished and tested map, and suddenly you see Wutville, a map with a cool concept, but with all its glaring issues, getting officially accepted by Valve into the game. It must be tough, to say the least. I think that Wutville wouldn't be very well regarded in this update, even if it were a well-polished map. It would inevitably be overshadowed by the exceptional payload pier. Valve, why add 2 payload maps in the same update? Why not, for example, add a nice King of the Hill map like Ice Tower, or an original CP map like Shelter? I can't comprehend what was Valve's decision-making process, and despite really enjoying this SMISSMAS, I was a bit disappointed by the addition of Wutville. The map wasn't ready yet to be officially added into the game, and what Valve has done was a disservice even to Wutville's creator, who's been rushing in the last few days to fix the map as best as he can, and for that effort alone we should praise him. But I don't want to end this video with a negative note. If Valve can't or doesn't want to test maps properly before adding them to the game, there's an easy solution to help avoid this sort of problem in the future. Before launching an update, Valve could announce the maps they are thinking about adding in the game and open some kind of public vote event, so the community can say what maps are most interesting. This would be interesting because, beyond avoiding the addition of unpolished maps, it would help keep everyone's interest in the game, even when there isn't an active event. It would also give YouTubers and community figures something to talk about and keep the buzz around the game on social media, which is always nice. Everyone would benefit. Valve would stress less about what maps to choose, and the community would feel cared for. I don't think there's any possibility of Valve doing this sort of thing, but it is a neat idea anyway. I dislike Wutville, but I surely don't hate it. It clearly needed more work before being added to TF2. And what do you think? Did you enjoy Wutville despite its flaws? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to check my future content. See you next time, and bye bye!